Look at the Skip Bayless tweet. This is the guy whose name I was trying to remember the other day. I watched an argument between him and I think it was Shannon Sharp, and it was fucking embarrassing. For Skip. Here's Skip Bayless's take here. I've seen... here. Actually, I'll just pull up all of them. We can read it together. I haven't read it yet. Goddamn, what the fuck? Who is Skip? Goddamn clown is what he is. Not exactly sure what happened to Damar. Hamlin, players on both teams are shaken. Ambulance out on the field. CPR administered. Can't remember play being stopped for this length of time. Just said a prayer for him and his family. I've seen so many horrific injuries suffered on football fields, yet never have I seen a reaction like this. In every other situation I witnessed or covered, the game always went on fairly quickly. The attitude was, hey, that's football. For these players, this was different. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game, but how? This late in the season? A game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. It's not, I mean, this isn't like the worst thing I've ever seen, especially not from Skip. He's a little too focused on the game itself as opposed to whether or not the player survives, but for Skip, I mean, Jesus, this is about the best his brain can cook up. Nah, I'm definitely not going to be pulling up the clip, obviously. I mean, that could be... It could be fatal. Right now, apparently he has a pulse but can't breathe on his own at the moment. Apparently he also just got to the hospital. Yeah, I keep seeing people say that in chat about Ken Block. I haven't looked it up yet. Rally car driver Ken Block dead at 55, snowmobile accident. Holy shit, this happened at the exact same posting as the Damar Hamlin situation. 26 minutes ago. What the fuck? What just happened? Was there like a blood sacrifice done on TikTok or something? Jesus Christ. What? He was in Utah snowmobiling. They're not giving any details about what happened, but yeah, they're confirming his death in a snowmobile accident. Jesus. Holy shit. He's a tier 1 prime in the prime Hudson, Sono in the resub Shave, Cosmic, Patrick, Bulldog, and Stinky. No, Logan hasn't released his video yet. Yeah, Jeremy Renner's in critical condition but stable, right? From the snowplow. Jesus, Damar Hamlin accident looks totally routine. Yeah, I mean, it's a big hit to the chest, but you never usually see something like that happen. It must have just got placed in a very unfortunate spot. Like, probably where the pads, like, meet on the chest, like, right in between that, and just a direct hit to his heart. People on Twitter blaming it on COVID vaccines. Now you're falling for bait. The COVID vaccine gets blamed for a lot, but as for a Ken Block dying in a snowmobile accident and Damar Hamlin getting hit in the goddamn heart, that's his bait. Internal bleeding, his ribs piercing the heart. No, do you not... You guys have never seen or heard about those things happening? If you get hit hard enough in the chest, you can just die from it. Pretty quickly, too. I don't know, like, the exact anatomical explanation for how it all plays out, but if you take a big impact to your chest, you can just straight die, like, almost immediately. There's that blunt trauma. Thanks to Tier 1 regular Spore. And the resub Tyson, Gutter, and Sam. And the bits Esper and Revered. Hey, congrats on the engagement, Revere. Not amazing, Vested. Not great. You hear Dana White assaulted his wife. I actually saw that tweet right before going live. I don't know anything about it, but I saw that he said it was regretfully the result of alcohol why he and his wife got physical or something at New Year's. So I don't know what the fuck that was. I'll look it up in a minute. There's a resub Tom, Cool, and Stony. It's called Commodio cordis. We see it in the ER every once in a while. The blunt trauma to the chest causing the I don't even know, heart explosion. Like I don't even know how it works really. There's a resub Slindius and Sonic. Yeah, but I don't think that's what usually happens, T-Chon. As far as I know, you can have your heart get pierced by the extrusion on the breastplate of the rib cage that, if hit hard enough, could break or bend into the heart or around that region. Like, I'm sure that's a very real thing. I imagine that's something that can happen in car accidents. But in a hit like that, I don't necessarily think that's what happens. That's usually a lot more force than a hit. Thanks to the gift sub Azel. They're continuing the game. Yeah, like I said, I don't know what the right call is there. I legitimately couldn't tell you. All I can say is that in the past, when something like that's happened, it's usually rubbed me the wrong way when it comes to continuing. I mentioned the Owen Hart thing with wrestling, though this one's a little different, I suppose, because of this being like a big important game, I guess. I think this one's to clinch the division or something, and it, like, he may be all right. I don't know. I can kind of see both sides here. Oh, this is only a chance for a 1 seed? I thought this was to make it, not to make it, to clinch, though. Hold on, let me look it up. Why don't I just look it up? Because I know the Bills and Bengals have great records right now. Yeah, Bills 12-3, Bengals 11-4. Thanks to resub Silver and Monty. Can't they move it to another day? Nah, that I doubt. That seems very hard to do. You have to schedule the arena, book it all out. Like that's a lot of moving parts. But if both teams are already guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, I mean, I could see an argument for not continuing than just going by the better record. I don't know. Are they both in the AFC North? When was the last time someone died in a football game? Like I said, the only one that I know of was probably over a decade ago, and it was Arena Football League. How about this? I also remember a college football player who, on a kickoff, went for, I think it was a block. He delivered a great block, and he paralyzed himself instantly. But outside of that, in the arena football player, I don't think there's been any. Let's see. Well, in 1905, there was one. Here, how about NFL? Because I don't think there's ever been an NFL on-field football death. Chuck Hughes. Chuck Hughes was an American football player, a wide receiver in the NFL from 1967 to 1971, and he is to date the only player to have died on the field during a game. The Lions hosted the Bears at Tiger Stadium late in the fourth quarter, Detroit trailing 28-23. Lions were driving into Chicago territory, and Hughes entered the game as an injury replacement. Caught a pass for 32 yards, and 3 plays later... here we go. 3 plays later, Landry threw a pass to tight end Charlie Sanders, dropped near the end zone. Hughes, a decoy for the play, began running back to the huddle with 1 minute showing on the clock. Suddenly, he dropped to the turf, clutching his chest around the 20-yard line. Hughes collapsed near the Bears linebacker Dick Butkus, who saw him begin to convulse violently on the field. Butkus motioned to the sideline frantically to get Hughes assistance. He was pronounced dead at 5:34 p.m. that afternoon. The game was played to its conclusion in front of the now stunned silent crowd at Tiger Stadium. He was suffering from an undiagnosed and advanced arteriosclerosis, and that he had a family history of heart disease. The direct cause of death was coronary thrombosis. You don't see this kind of injury in any other sport. Well, I mean, you can... I get the point you're trying to make, but you still see plenty of comparably horrible injuries that happen in other sports as well. Like hockey. Chat immediately went to hockey. Shit, in hockey there's been 2 cases of people having their fucking throat slit by the skates. There's that very famous clip now where the goalie gets collided with by 2 players, I think it was, and one of them, their skate went up and sliced his fucking neck. Like, cut his jugular. I think it was his dad. His dad had to pinch his arteries together in order to save his life. Might not have been his dad. Might have been just the actual team medic. I don't remember now. I'm very foggy on it. But you see comparably horrible injuries in other sports as well. That's not to defend NFL and the way they cover up concussions and all that shit. But I'm just saying, this isn't like isolated. Every sport has their risk of very serious injury. It was a trainer. Was it? Yeah, like I said, I was a little spotty on it. Oh, you know who it was that did something very similar and was their dad? It was Kentucky Ballistics when his rifle exploded. It severed his jugular, right? I think it was his jugular. It severed something very important in his neck, and his dad had to pinch it for him, and then on the way to the hospital, Kentucky Ballistics took over. I got the wires crossed. He put a thumb in it. Yep. But his dad took over first, right? Didn't his dad pinch it, and then on the way to the hospital, he told Kentucky Ballistics to do it himself, so that way he could drive? Wasn't that it? That was the story, right? No, he did it himself, but on the way to the hospital. His dad was the one that rushed over. But yeah, on the way to the hospital, Kentucky put his thumb in it and held it down. I remember he told the story about his family and like how he had to like push it into his neck like with his other arm like really tight. They did decide to cancel the game. Probably for the best. Fuck, that's terrifying. Scary thing is, TBI can manifest in nastier shit later. In your case, a bad tackle led to 2 strokes. Holy shit. The Bills released a statement. Oh yeah, this is them just talking about the most recent update that I read a minute ago. Thanks a resub, Josuke. Damar Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest following a hit in the game versus the Bengals. Heartbeat restored on the field, but transferred to the UC Medical Center. Yeah, no, we already talked about Skip Bayless. Man's catching the hardest ratio of 2023 already. That's going to be a tough one to beat, too. But, I mean, that's just classic Skip Bayless, baby. If that man's not getting dunked on, he's just, like, ceases to exist. He's like an android they fire up when they just need something to spit out a shit take for people to laugh at. Damn. 100 million views on that tweet. And one of the fattest ratios I've seen in quite some time. I'm surprised you didn't delete it. Yeah, it took some nuts. But I mean, Skip Bayless is used to taking some shit. That man catches more shit than a toilet. Because he just has, like, terrible takes. Like, forever. Skip Bayless wants LeBron so bad. Yeah, it's almost like poetic. Thanks, Resub Sunny. Still not as bad as Stephen A. Smith. I only know a couple of bad takes from him. The rest I just know the memes. Stephen A. Smith's got some fire memes. Skip Bayless, just an old little raisin. Like, he doesn't have anything cool about him. I already watched the new Meat Canyon, man. But like I said, after Logan Paul's drop tomorrow, I'll probably pull up some relevant Meat Canyon clips from the episode. The Skip clip when he yelled at Shannon Sharpe for not having as many rings as Brady was bad. Well, that's the one I was just talking about. That was his most recent viral blunder. And then he's like, "Put your glasses back on." It's fucking hard to listen to. It's not like Skip was even making points. Like, what was the point? You don't have as many rings as Brady. So what, he's not allowed to criticize bad play? Like, he just doesn't make any, like, real points. He's not supposed to make points, he just gets views. Yeah. Just a little clown for people to laugh at on ESPN, I suppose. It is what it is. I'm sure he'll spit out a really shitty take on his show. It's tomorrow, right? Yeah, it'll be on tomorrow. I love this, though. Maybe not what you want to hear, but need to hear. Which is just a bunch of baloney. Thanks to the Resub Ublahu. Look what Eric Shun said. It was much worse. I don't think I know who Eric Shun is. Who's that? Eric Shun ESPN. Oh, I went to a Roblox channel. Oh yeah, it's so weird. When you go to Eric Shun, it takes you to just a Roblox channel. Yeah, who is that? He doesn't even come up when I just look up Eric Shun. Is this just like your personal Twitter account? This is absolutely just your fucking personal Twitter account. Goofy. Erection? That doesn't even work though. Eric Shun? That's not even close. I guess there's a reason why it's only 21 followers. That's shit. That doesn't even work. Wait. If I said it faster, I guess. But that doesn't even compute. It'd only work if I said it fast enough. It's not like a good Mike Hawk or anything. No, Ligma's so much better. I guess there's a reason I haven't heard that one. No, I didn't get that at all. But that one's just kind of weak. Now, if I fell for like a Mike Hawk, Mike Oxlong, Jenna Tools, like those are better. I've just never heard Eric Shun. Thanks, Arisa Brayman. It's not weak if it got you. No, I guess. It was definitely tricky. I just don't think that one's nearly smooth enough.